calling you early this Friday morning just to share a word with you that God spoke to my heart through in my quiet time earlier this morning. Each morning I read from the book of Psalms, I read a proverb, try to read in the Gospels, and maybe also in the book of Acts. And I don't tell you that to say that's what you ought to do, but just kind of lay up what I'm going to tell you now, how God works to tie all this together. I also read behind two men that written devotionals in two different lifetimes that I read behind as well. But these scriptures and thoughts come from my time spent with God early this morning. Listen, God's speaking to us, but we must have ears to hear, faith to trust, and wills to obey Him. We're not alone in this struggle. Heaven's resources are ours. I began this morning in Psalm 34. It says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. No matter what comes our way, we need to focus on the Lord. Verse 4 says, I sought the Lord and He heard me and delivered me from all my fears. God hears our prayers, friends. Verse 19, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Then in Proverbs, today's the third, so I read in Proverbs chapter 3, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. I circled that word all there. And lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, again, circle it. Acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Do not be wise in your own or what you may lose. Why not instead ask God, God, what are you trying to teach me from this? What do you want me to learn from this? Nothing, and I mean nothing, touches the Christian life without God allowing it. So anything that comes into our lives must first make it past Him. And nothing, my friends, can lift God's finger that doesn't fit His purpose. And then finally, in my last devotional, was 1 Kings. It says, get away from here and turn eastward and hide by the brook Kerith, which flows from the Jordan. And it will be that you shall drink from the brook, and I've commanded the ravens to feed you there. See, at Kerith, Elijah learned the lesson of God's provision. But Kerith was the place of God's provision because it was the place of God's purpose. It was the place of God's provision because it was the place of God's purpose. Elijah was where God told him to be, and the ravens were commanded to feed him right there. Listen, where God guides us, He provides for us. And Vance Havner says He is responsible for our upkeep if we follow His direction. See, these are the scriptures God lined up for me today through different readings, through different men. And they all speak to one thing. Our God is awesome. And He's involved with our lives. So allow God to speak to your heart today from His Word. God bless.